Are you a real estate agent looking for a better way to stand out in your market, grow your influence, and attract local clients without chasing cold leads? Then listen up. In this podcast episode, I'm sharing 5 powerful reasons why more real estate agents should be hosting a local podcast. And by the end, you'll see how easy it is to build your brand while building your community. Welcome to Epic Agents Podcast and a segment I'm calling 5-Minute Real Estate Marketing. Practical, powerful marketing ideas that help realtors grow their influence and win more local business. You can also watch this episode on our YouTube channel at Epic Agents Podcast. Let's dive into today's topic, 5 reasons agents should host a local podcast. Reason number 1, a local podcast builds trust fast. Let's face it, real estate is a relationship business. People work with agents they know, like, and trust. Hosting a podcast lets you skip the cold calls and start building that trust at scale. Each episode gives your audience a chance to hear your voice, your personality, and your local knowledge. You're not just another face on a billboard, you're a real human showing up every week with value. That consistency builds credibility, and over time, people start seeing you as the go-to expert in your market. Reason number 2, you become the local connector. A podcast isn't just about talking, it's about inviting. Interview the owner of the best taco shop in town. Talk to the school principal, the varsity soccer coach, the neighborhood historian. Now you're not just selling houses, you're spotlighting the heart of your community. You build relationships with small business owners, city leaders, and potential referral partners. And guess what? When those guests share your podcast, your network grows without spending a dollar on ads. Reason number 3, it differentiates you from every other agent. Hosting a podcast sets you apart in a sea of sameness. The reality is most agents use the same marketing. Just listed posts, just closed, open house flyers, and generic social media content. But a podcast, that's unique. It positions you as a thought leader, not just another salesperson. When clients Google you, they don't just see listings, they see a real active contributor to the local conversation. Speaking of Google, a podcast can supercharge your visibility in search results. For example, I began producing my local podcast, The Best of Lake Norman, 3 years before earning my real estate license. The first thing I did when becoming a real estate agent was build my own website for my real estate business. And because of my name recognition and the domain authority I had built locally on Google through my podcast website, my real estate website ranked on the first page of Google search on day 1. You can see for yourself. Google Best Lake Norman Real Estate Agent. My local real estate website, lknreal.com, ranks 5th or 6th organically on the first page consistently. Interestingly enough, my local podcast website ranks in the number 1 spot on Google search for the best Lake Norman real estate agent. But that's a topic for another time. Point being, that's the kind of visibility that makes people remember your name when it's time to buy or sell. Reason number 4, it's surprisingly easy and evergreen. You don't need fancy equipment or a studio. You can start with a $100 mic, Zoom, and a quiet space. Each episode becomes reusable content, a video for YouTube, clips for social media, stories for your email list, and blog posts for SEO. Instead of starting from scratch every week, you're building a content library that compounds your effort over time. And reason number 5, podcasts attract leads without chasing them. When people hear you week after week, they feel like they already know you. So when it's time to buy, sell, or refer a friend, you're the natural choice. And the best part, these leads aren't cold. They're warm, educated, and already aligned with your style. Your podcast becomes a top-of-funnel machine that brings people into your world before they even pick up the phone. So there you have it, 5 reasons why you as a real estate agent should start a local podcast. Build trust, grow your network, stand out, create content that compounds, and attract leads without being salesy. If you're serious about becoming the local expert, a podcast might just be your most powerful marketing move. Want help getting started? Subscribe to this podcast for more tips every week. And check the link in the show notes to grab my free local podcast starter kit for real estate agents. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week on 5-Minute Real Estate Marketing here on Epic Agents Podcast.